Honey, you know I'm going to now have to edit all those burps out of my podcast.
I didn't know you were home.
I didn't know you were home!
Hey everyone, welcome to Girls Gone Hallmark, a bonus episode of Long Story Short, the podcast. I'm Megan.
I'm Wendy.
Today we're discussing Chasing Waterfalls, the first movie in Hallmark's Spring Fling series. If you're new to the podcast, Megan, that's me. I'm a longtime Hallmark fan, and Wendy is seriously regretting her suggestion that we start reviewing original Hallmark Channel movies for bonus podcast episodes.
Wendy is dying a slow death over here.
It never ends. Now taking applications for bonus episode co-hosts. If you want more from us, be sure to listen to our regular podcasts every Tuesday. This week we kicked off the first in an ongoing series called Conversations with Friends, and we had a raw and frank conversation with our friend Jenny Canzaneri about sobriety. We are getting tons of great feedback about that episode, and we highly recommend you give it a listen. If you enjoyed this podcast, we would love it if you would take the time to leave a review in Apple Podcasts, which you can do by visiting meganandwendy.com/Apple Podcast. While, of course, we love reading them, it's also a great way to show your support for the show and improve the visibility of our show. And you can find us on Instagram, Megan and Wendy LSS, and Facebook, Long Story Shorties.
We want your emails, too. It's meganandwendy@gmail.com.
Do you have a synopsis of this week's movie?
You know, this week I'm actually prepared. It's pulled up, and are you ready?
I am.
Okay, about Chasing Waterfalls. Photographer Amy travels to a remote lodge to find mythical waterfalls and falls for a handsome guide, Mark. They adventure to find the mystic waterfall and discover their true feelings. Stars Cindy Busby and Christopher Russell.
Time for some news and notes.
There were not many.
No, but right before this movie came out, I saw a discussion on Twitter where people were like, what is Hallmark doing? Chasing Waterfalls doesn't mean what they think it means. So
like the actual
Googling.
The song Chasing Waterfalls doesn't mean.
Yes. Like when
it's
TLC
not literal.
Sang, well, so in this, of course, it's not literal, but it's also, I think in this movie, they mean it to mean like chase your dreams, right? Mm-hmm. But that's not what TLC meant. When TLC sang Chasing Waterfalls, and you could make the argument that they weren't referencing TLC, except that they played the song in the trailer. I honestly never even noticed it in the movie.
It was not in the movie.
Okay, good. Chasing Waterfalls to TLC meant like, don't go chasing troublesome endeavors. Like the song is about like drug use and casual sex and how that's basically going to lead to prison and death. So just a little side note that they have rewritten the meaning of Chasing Waterfalls in this particular case.
They romanticized TLC's Chasing Waterfalls for the sake of this movie.
Yeah, they hallmarked it. Yeah.
You got hallmarked. Oh my God.
That's filmed in Maple Ridge, British Columbia, and they said all of the waterfalls were within an hour's driving distance of Vancouver.
That's not exciting to me at all. I'm sorry.
The only reason it's exciting is Vancouver's a big city, and like all of a sudden you're in the middle of nowhere. So I thought that was kind of cool.
All right. I just had this memory that I know that you went to Oregon to see some waterfalls. Is that right?
We did.
At one time.
We didn't go specifically to see them, but we saw them while we were there. Yes.
Okay, and was that like life-changing? What did that make you feel a certain way?
My husband is a lifelong waterfall chaser. If we are out, if there's like a hike, he's like, I want to go on the waterfall hike. I want to see waterfalls. He loves waterfalls. I don't share the same passion for waterfalls that he does. I think they're pretty. I enjoy them. He's a big fan. So he would be all into the Chasing Waterfalls tour of Canada.
Okay, so that's really funny because as I watched this movie, I was like, is there a population of people who are super into seeing waterfalls? I'm not that person.
There definitely is, particularly if you look like at hiking reviews, you know, if you're looking at like hiking, what's trail?
Trails, yes.
Yeah. And they'll have people who like review the trail, like how hard it was and the views. And I think there are definitely people who are into waterfalls. I don't think my husband is like super unique in that regard.
Have you ever like swam in a waterfall? Like had it crashing down on your head? Have you?
Not
Really?
crashing down on our head, no, but like in the water at the base of a waterfall, yes.
Really?
In Hawaii and maybe elsewhere. Oh, yeah, when we were on our road trip last year, not last year, 2 years ago, I wish I could remember what state we were in, but we did a small hike to a waterfall, and then there were people that were like jumping off a cliff into the waterfall. And he did that,
so
and
dangerous.
my kids were freaking terrified.
Yeah.
They're like, "Don't go, Daddy, don't go."
Daddy's gonna crash his head on rocks. Yeah,
He was
that's
fine.
an awful decision. Oh my goodness. So the only time I've ever been in a waterfall is in like a pool that has a waterfall. Like never, ever,
Yeah.
ever have I been I don't even think I've seen a waterfall. Now my little city, I understand, has a little waterfall that you can hike to.
Hey.
But it's only after a good rain. Otherwise, it's like dry all the time.
California living.
Okay, any other news and notes on this movie?
The final waterfall where they shot, which I don't know if they're filmed in order, but when they were shooting the final waterfall that they went to, they didn't allow photos to be taken. So it had the same, like, they don't want people to know where this is situation as they have in the movie.
I thought that storyline was so ridiculous. I have thoughts on it.
Okay, let's start with first impressions.
I hated this movie from top to bottom.
Oh, no.
Hated it.
I said solid start without being a home run.
Get out. For real, it was so boring.
Well, so what I almost wrote was that I had a hard time focusing on the movie, but I also had a lot going on. I watched it during the day and I was just trying to like do stuff on the computer. I was just kind of like multitasking. So
yeah, that's how I watch these movies now. I multitask as I watch.
Not being able to focus because I was intentionally doing other things. So I pulled that because I wasn't sure that was a fair assessment.
So what is funny is that when we started reviewing Hallmark movies during the countdown to Christmas, that was appointment TV for me. We would sit in front of the big television screen. My husband and I, we would watch it. We would talk about it. Now at this point, I am running the Friendly app on my phone in my headphones while I'm emptying the dishwasher, while I'm paying bills, while I'm walking the dog. So I'm not giving like that much attention to these movies anymore, simply because they're hard for me to watch. And this one was especially bad.
Did you like anything about this movie?
I wrote not much. I'm sorry. I had a very hard time getting excited about a story for a girl who is just looking to photograph waterfalls.
Well, to be fair to this section of the podcast, I wrote 3 things down. I enjoyed Cindy Busby and Christopher Russell. I think he is the perfect, like, rugged tour guide actor to play this role.
Okay, yeah, I would say he fit the stereotype, sure.
I enjoyed her. I thought she was cute in this movie. I liked when he sang that moment.
Oh my God.
Sweet.
I really wanted him to bust out Chasing Waterfalls in that moment.
And
okay,
I liked the filming locations. It was pretty. The waterfall was pretty.
I'm sorry.
Man.
I'm sorry.
Okay, let's talk roadblocks. Uh-oh.
Oh my God, I didn't write any down.
Don't worry, I have plenty. Are you ready?
I am, yes.
Uh-oh. Amy is searching for mythical falls that may or may not exist, and the only person who can help guide her is the rugged tour guide.
Uh-huh.
And then I wrote, uh-oh, maybe Tara has a thing for Mark, which then becomes, uh-oh, Tara definitely has a thing for Mark.
Yes.
Uh-oh, Mark doesn't want to show Amy where Redwood Falls is. And uh-oh, foreshadowing, Amy is going to betray his trust about the waterfall. Geotagging is going to play a role.
Oh my God, the whole conversation about geotagging right?
Well, it was funny because when she was talking to Kyra about all the features of her camera, and she's like, you can even geotag. And I remember it stuck out to me. And then as they were walking back from their sweet little camping trip, right, they've had their moment, and she's like, I promise I would never betray you. That moment to me was like, oh, you know she's going to betray him somehow, even unintentionally. And then my brain flashed right back to the geotagging, and I knew exactly what was going to happen.
Man, you just got hallmarked, Megan. I'm just saying, like, of course, like, these are like red flags, right? Like, when you talk about photography, you don't talk about geotag. Maybe people do. A conversation I've never had is about photography and geotagging, ever, except with my iPhone, but never. This is so stupid. I hated this movie so much.
Did you have anything that you wished for? Those 2 hours of your life back?
Perhaps. I wrote, I wish for a better story. This is so clunky and boring. So I thought it was kind of, here she is. She works for this magazine. She's actually, if I'm correct, is not a hired photographer for the magazine at this point. Like, what's her job?
She, I don't know, editing, layout, writing, and then she like basically begs them to hire her as a photographer, and they're like, okay.
Okay, so she's like a hobby photographer, which we see her. Okay, then something with a portfolio, right? Did she bust out like a big ass portfolio book?
Yeah, once again, we have this moment. Yes. They would have a digital portfolio.
Right. When that happened.
My Instagram.
Yeah, exactly. Look at my Instagram.
I'm telling you.
You're
she could
probably
have like
right.
a nature photography Instagram. Like,
you're probably right. Anyway, all right. I just didn't like the story. I just thought it was so boring. And then she like stepped in as like great girlfriend to the teen girl or whatever. It just was like blah, blah. Other things I wish for, better chemistry between these two. Like the Christopher Russell, like you said, rugged, very good looking. Cindy Busby, cute, adorable, but these two together were ice cold. Like, I didn't feel any sort of like chemistry between the two of them at all. Zero.
Bummer.
Did you?
I liked them.
Bummer. Bummer is the response I get. Bummer.
I liked them. I thought they were cute together.
No, I'm just bored with cute. I'm bored with cute.
Well, you're not going to get hot in a Hallmark movie.
Well, something needs to change quickly. I'm holding out hard for Julie Sherman Wolf's movie. Please.
Well, also they were teasing the Ireland movie, which I can't think of the name of off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But I noticed, this is going to mean nothing to you, but first of all, I love Joanna Garcia Swisher. But it also features Branson from Downton Abbey. I'm all in. Anyway.
Oh, I've never seen that show, so I have no idea who you're talking about. I know Joanna Garcia Swisher was on Reba. Am I right?
Yes.
Reba? Was she on Reba?
And then she was on another show, like another sitcom style show.
She deserves more than a Hallmark movie. She's a cute little actress. I like her.
I love her a lot.
I'm really looking forward to that movie too because of the scenery. Now, I know that is complete opposite of what I'm talking about here because I give two shits about a waterfall, but Ireland landscape.
You're in it for a cliff?
I could get behind that. What did you wish for with this movie?
I didn't love the waterfalls have personality bit. Like once fine as a carried through moment. Yeah. Ugh. She doesn't want to be photographed. Shut up. I hated that. And I wished, as I do often, that Mark did not assume the worst in Amy when things go wrong.
Oh, well, every dude does, right? In these movies. Like, it's always like all or nothing. Like,
right, and you need to have some sort of conflict.
I get it, but
yeah, I come on. Give her
I
a
don't
chance.
know. I just want the writers of these movies to not follow the friggin' Hallmark outline so closely. Do something different. Do something different. Okay. Let me take a breath here.
You ready for Did You See That?
I am. I have a few.
Don't put your suitcase on the bed. That is
that
rule
was
number one of hotel
disgusting.
stays.
Never.
Bed bugs, and that's how you bring them home.
Or you're putting your dirty suitcase on a bed you're going to sleep in. Like, both ways. It's gross. Use the little luggage stand that's in there.
Did you see her bike shorts that she wore for hiking?
Oh my God, I did not.
Yes.
Yes, I just wrote a blog post all about bike shorts.
Wendy and I are having a bike shorts renaissance these days, so my eyes were on high alert.
Well, kudos to costuming for, jumping in on
trend.
the trend there. Did you notice? Okay, there was one scene. They were talking about a compass, and he says, or like directions or whatever, and he's like, "I was born with it." The dude's name is Mark North. And I thought, was that on purpose? Was that on purpose?
For sure.
Oh my God.
That's funny. I didn't notice that.
Now, I knew that their names were funny because shout out to Deck the Hallmark. They did a preview of all these movies and they talked extensively about the names of the characters in this movie and how like on the nose they were. So I kind of knew that going in. His name is Mark North. He's a tour guide. Her name is Amy Atwater. She's looking at water. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
Right. Shout out to them for
that's funny.
Seeing that. But what made me laugh harder was that this line that he was like, "I was born into it," or "I was born with it," or something. I can't remember the exact line, but I was like, somebody is right on the nose with the names and the characteristics of these people. Anyway.
Okay. Can we talk bears?
Sure.
Okay, so did you see they're hiking and he's clapping and he says you got to clap to alert the bears that you're coming?
Yeah.
So I have been hiking in bear country. We went to Yellowstone and the Grand Teton several years ago, and there are many bears in the area, and we got bear spray before hiking.
Which is what exactly?
It's basically pepper spray, so it's not a repellent. It's like if you're being attacked by a bear, you spray like in their eyes.
Okay.
Right.
Oh my God.
But they also there were other like talk loudly, sing. So the worst thing to do with a bear is to sneak up on them. But I was like, clapping, is that a thing? And according to NPS.org, the National Park Service, that is clapping, yelling, talking are all good ways to alert a bear of your presence.
Oh, so you never want to sneak up on it.
Yes.
Okay.
They don't think humans are prey, but if they think you're a danger to them, that's when they're going to attack you.
Okay.
But one of the things that it said, because when they see the bear, they get real loud and aggressive.
Yeah.
National Park Service says is move away slowly and sideways. Do not run. Do not climb a tree. Continue to talk in low tones. A scream or sudden movement may trigger an attack. Never imitate bear sounds or make a high-pitched squeal. And then it goes on to talk about bear attacks.
Oh my God.
And in a brown or grizzly bear attack, you should play dead. But in a black bear attack, it says, do not play dead. Concentrate your kicks and blows on the bear's face and muzzle. So basically, if a black bear attacks you, you're gonna die, is what they're saying. Like,
I would
fight
first
back.
I don't even know if in that instant I would be like, this is a black bear. Nope, this is a brown bear. How am I supposed to respond? I would be high-pitched screaming, climbing up a tree. Everything you're not supposed to do. This is why I don't go out there.
Are rare. Bear attacks are rare. But
I don't know.
You should also not hike at dawn or dusk and not hike alone. Okay, so we may move on from bear talk with Megan and Wendy.
But I have a question, a bear talk. Didn't he say something about like when you're going to the bathroom, you're supposed to clap or something like that? Why is there a bathroom? Why am I thinking like when you're taking a squat in the forest, you should be clapping so a bear doesn't sneak up on you.
I just think you're supposed to be making noise at all times so they hear you coming.
Okay,
But I don't know why bathroom specifically.
Maybe I'm imagining that they had this line in the movie. I might have to go back and look. Okay, also,
You're not going to go back and look.
What if you're sleeping in a tent, then you're quiet, and the bear comes up on you? Then what are you supposed to do? Do you play a radio all night long?
There was something about like if a bear is stalking you in your tent, but I can't find that one right now.
Stalking you in your tent.
Right?
Speaking of dangerous situations, Megan, would you ever let a stranger blindfold you in the forest?
No. What does he blindfold her?
Yes, because
I forget that.
Yes, he was like trying to like throw her off the path so she doesn't memorize where the waterfall is, and then he ends up blindfolding her. And I was like, there's no freaking way I would let this handsome stranger blindfold me out in the middle of the woods or forest or wherever this is, because he's going to kill me. No.
Keep in mind that directly before or after this incident, she says to her friend, I am hopelessly head over heels in love with him. So I think we can apply a different filter to this interaction. No, I hate being blindfolded. I have no sense of direction. I don't like the dark. I would full-blown panic, whether it's a stranger or not.
I hated everything about that. A rational person wouldn't be like, okay, stranger, I met you 2 days ago, blindfold me and lead me out to my death. Nope. Nope.
I bet that waterfall water was freezing that they were swimming in.
Oh, because
it was.
Was this filmed like last year or early this year?
It was filmed at the end of 2020, but guys, that's like melted snow. You're in Canada. It's like melted snow water that's pouring down on you. Waterfalls are always cold unless you're like in the tropics. They're cold.
Wow. Interesting. I have one more. Did you see that?
Yes.
When the article about the waterfalls comes out, it's online, right?
Yeah.
It's not a hard copy magazine article?
Correct.
Okay. So the coordinates to these majestic, mysterious, never to be seen by human life waterfalls are in the online article, right?
And therefore could be removed.
Yes. What the hell? What it was. They made such a big deal out of it. The boss, who was supposed to be like some Anna Wintour of this outdoor magazine, could have easily been like, I'm so sorry. You're right. That was my bad. Or whoever took accountability for that. Let's log on to our back end and delete those coordinates. So the 5 people who have seen this like online article don't have access to it anymore. It's not like it went viral, and they're acting like it did. They're like, did you see the busload of people who pulled up today to come see the article or come see the waterfall? Give me a break.
Yeah, this is the kind of article that has a slow burn that people run across as they're searching for, their vacation destination, things to see in Canada. They come across these waterfalls. Yes, they could have deleted it and the damage would have been minimal.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. The information was out there. Perhaps someone could have shared it with someone else, etc., etc. Especially if it is such a mythical place that people have always been searching for and now they found it. But I hear you.
And she just so happens to stumble onto the Twisted Sister rock, and then she knew where she was going to find the fall. It was just, oh my God. I had some real flashbacks to that movie with Reese Witherspoon where she went on that hiking adventure. What's that movie called?
Wild.
Yes. And, she bought those like brand new boots. It was kind of along the same lines where he was like, you need better shoes for hiking or whatever. Did you see some similarities with that, or am I just imagining?
I just read that book, which is based on a true story. I did not
you never saw that movie.
No,
okay.
But do you remember in Gilmore Girls when Lorelai, the revival? It is. She's like, I'm doing Wild, and they're like, book or movie. It's based on that. So when she goes on that like to hike the Pacific Crest Trail, they're like, book or movie.
Yeah, no. I know, but now I'm wondering, am I confused? Was the boot storyline in the Gilmore Girls revival
No,
and not the
it's
actual
in.
movie?
Well, I think it's in because in the at one point she like throws her boots over the edge in the book because they're like tearing up her feet. So I think it's
Okay.
probably in the movie also.
Okay. All right. Anything else? Did you see that?
Yeah, when they come back from their camping trip and they have been swimming in a waterfall and sleeping in a tent, her hair is perfectly curled. Could we
Oh.
not have like left her hair straight at that point? Like, no, she does not have perfect ringlets in her hair after swimming.
Well, I was thinking the same thing. Like when they camped out and she got up the next morning, she looks like super cute. Like I look like Albert Einstein when I wake up in the morning. Like my hair is crazy looking. Like,
Well, and
yeah.
like, there's no continuity. She's getting bitten by mosquitoes all night long, and then she wakes up, she's like, I slept great. And I'm like, no, what do you mean? You should have welts all over your body and be so tired because the bugs kept you up all night.
Yeah. Okay. Another thing in that scene, he goes, "How do you like your eggs?" And she looks down and she goes, "Scrambled." And he's like, "Oh, good," because they were already scrambled. And I was like, "What is that movie? It's one of your favorite movies. It's a Julia Roberts movie, and there's something. No, it's not one of your favorite movies. It's Runaway Bride." Now I'm getting that confused with My Best Friend's Wedding.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, Runaway.
Oh, yes. She changes her egg preference based on her dude.
Yes. Yes. And I was like, "Ew, don't be that girl." Scrambled. Like how?
I hear you. I honestly didn't read it that way. I thought she was like, that's the kind of eggs we have, so that's the kind of eggs I want. It's not like he can poach an egg in the middle of the forest.
I guess, but whatever.
Okay, so Tara, who is the other tour guide, who clearly has a thing for Mark, and I kind of hated what they did to her character because they made her this, like, needy, clingy, even though Mark was like, yeah, we went out, didn't work out, and he's just a nice guy and they're friends. It kind of bugged me that they made her this, like, I don't like cock
desperate woman, cock blocker. Yeah.
That out. But desperate woman is yeah. I just didn't like that for her. But when the last night she's there, she goes, "You're leaving tomorrow, right, Amy?" And she's just like so ready for her to be done. I thought that was kind of funny, but
yeah, it's the same thing.
Her a more powerful role.
When she showed up at the karaoke, she's like, "Oh, you're still here." Like,
Yeah, like, why couldn't she have just been, like, the fellow tour guide who maybe didn't trust her because she didn't want to reveal this secret location, but didn't have to be she didn't trust her because she wanted Mark too.
Right.
We don't need to center this, like, the one handsome dude tour guide.
Totally. Okay, my last Did You See That? And I'm throwing it back to an IMDb review that I read on this movie.
Yes.
Let me read it for you, and then I'm going to talk about the Did You See That moment. Quote, "Was extremely unnerved by the whole preteen with makeup and short skirt." So I went back and looked at it today. It was when they were at karaoke, and the Kyra, right, was getting popcorn and thinking about going to talk to the boy or whatever. She's wearing a denim mini skirt that is above her knee. Like it's not like Daisy Duke shorts. It's a appropriate length miniskirt, and she's wearing a long sleeve shirt that is tucked in. Like, who are these people that are watching these movies and leaving these reviews on IMDb?
Also, let's not, like, clothes shame the 12-year-old people. My gosh.
Right. She did not pick the outfit out herself. Like,
even if she did. I
know.
would super love to erase the narrative, about policing our daughter's clothes. But, yes, she was super cute. There was nothing that would have raised any alarm bells, even in someone who does care what these tween girls are wearing. But I thought she was cute. I enjoyed her character in the movie.
I know. Sometimes, like, these, like, preteen kids on these movies can be super annoying, but, like, I thought she was kind of cute. Except for her, like, the whole bit, how she, like, took this amazing picture of a hummingbird. Like, just, it was dumb. But
I know. It was... The cheese factor was heavy in this movie.
For sure.
What did you rate our good pal Chasing Waterfalls?
Okay, so I've decided that I'm going to rate these movies strictly based on, like, the spring fling canon. Is that the right word?
Sure.
I'm not going to compare them to Love Ever After or New Year, New Movies, anything. This is a stand-alone for me. And this movie gets 1 star.
Whoa. Yeah,
Yeah.
I kind of rate these on their own. I'm not comparing this to anything else, and it's a 2.5 star for me.
Oh my God, seriously.
Seriously. So next week we are going to be reviewing Don't Go Breaking My Heart, which may or may not have had a name change from Breakup Boot Camp at some point in the recent past. But regardless, Ryan Pavey and Natalia Ricci, we are very excited for that one. Until next time, have a great week, everybody. Goodbye.
Goodbye.